Tara practice. As many of you know, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has recommended this from the beginning of the pandemic. And although in many places the situation has improved a lot, by no means is the pandemic over. And even these days, there are certain areas that are having, second and third waves. So we're going to continue with this Tara practice on a weekly basis for the foreseeable future. So I thank you all for joining us. So let's just jump into it. And first we just set our motivation in a brief way, thinking that the purpose of my life is to benefit all sentient beings, and in particular, in order that I may be able to free all numberless sentient beings from suffering and lead them to the state of highest and complete enlightenment, I myself must first achieve the state of enlightenment, and therefore I'm going to engage in this Tara practice here today. And then more broadly speaking, we can also think that we're doing this practice to purify the obstacles for the gurus to remain in this world and continue to teach us and benefit us, as well as the other fortunate disciples of this world. And then also for, especially for the beings who are sick, for the beings who recently died, for the beings who have recently died, for them to get a good rebirth, either in a Pure Land or with a precious human rebirth, and those beings who are sick with various kinds of ailments for them to be cured instantly. Okay, so I will share my screen, and here I thought it good. We usually don't do the full Lamrim meditation, but I thought it'd be good too, just to keep things fresh. So we can do this glance meditation on the Lamrim. So I'll read it out loud, but you can follow along, and more important, you meditate on all the various meanings. Okay. So we first visualize all the beings in the space around us, as well as the Guru in the space in front. Our Guru we can visualize in the aspect of Shakyamuni Buddha. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings, and Lord of all supreme beings. Please, Guru Buddhas, bestow on me the ability to unify my mind with the Dharma and to be successful in practicing the Dharma. In order to achieve the graduated path, may no hindrances occur while achieving this path. Please bless me to realize that I have received the perfect human rebirth, which is highly meaningful. For many reasons, difficult to obtain, but perishable, transient, and fragile, decaying in the shortest moment because of its changeable nature. Thus, my death is definite, but its actual time is most indefinite. And after death, I am far more likely to be reborn in the lower suffering realms, having created infinitely more negative than positive karma in this life and all previous lives. Please bless me to comprehend how incredibly unendurable is the suffering of the lower realms, that I might take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha with all my heart, and realize the evolution of karma in all its profundity, that I might perform only virtuous actions and abandon all negative creations. By practicing in this way, I will be reborn in the upper realms, but will still have to experience unlimited samsaric suffering because of uncontrolled delusion and karma. Please bless me to realize fully the evolution of samsara, from uncontrolled rebirth to death to rebirth, and to follow day and night the 3 higher trainings of the path, higher conduct, higher concentration, and higher wisdom, which are the main methods to release me from samsara. But as each sentient being has been my mother, and as most of them are in extreme suffering, please bless me to bring success to all by renouncing the perfect happiness of self and practicing the Bodhisattva's deeds of the 6 perfections with the Bodhisattva's mind of exchanging self with others on the basis of equanimity meditation. Thus shall I have no sorrow in experiencing samsaric suffering of all other sentient beings, for no matter how long, having trained my mind in the general path. Please bless me to follow the quick Vajrayana teachings by feeling sentient beings suffering, very unimaginably unbearable for even the shortest moment, as my own, and to achieve the attainment of Shakyamuni Buddha immediately, in this very moment, by keeping my ordinations and the instructions of the Guru with the best and highest care in life, for the sole purpose of enlightening all sentient beings. Now we continue with the visualization. Above the crown of my head, I visualize a lotus and moon disk.
Venerable, sorry to interrupt, but can the volume be increased a little bit? Thank you.
Well, that means the volume of my own voice, right? It's not that I turn up. Okay, 1 second. Okay, how's that? That's worse, right?
There's no background noise, but it's
Yeah, so
louder.
how's that?
I think the other one was better, but
Really?
there's a lot of background, but it's louder.
How's that?
It is good,
Same?
Venerable. No, it's better. Better than the other two.
Okay. Okay. All right. Above the crown of my head, I visualize a lotus and moon disk. Upon these is the treasury of compassion, Aryatara, mother of all enlightened beings, who is oneness with my kind root Guru. My Guru is seated in the full lotus position within a transparent bubble of rainbow-colored light, is pink in complexion, and wears saffron robes and a pandit's hat. His right hand is at his heart in the gesture of teaching the Dharma, and holds a vajra and stem of a white lotus that blooms beside his right ear. His left hand rests on his hip. It holds a bell and the stem of another white lotus that blooms beside his left ear. At my Guru's heart is Aryatara in female aspect, green in color, and seated in the dancing posture within a rainbow bubble. Her left leg is bent up and her right leg is outstretched. Her left hand is at her heart in the mudra symbolizing the triple gem and holding the stem of a blue utpali flower. Her right hand extended over her right knee is in the mudra of granting sublime realizations. She is beautifully adorned with jeweled ornaments and scarves at her 3 places, bears the syllable Om Ahum. At her heart is a lotus and moon seat on which stands a radiant green syllable tom. Rays of green light radiate in all directions from the tom and invoke all the enlightened beings of the 10 directions. They are all absorbed into Aryatara and become one. So again, we take a moment to clarify the visualization. Most important, more important than getting a clear visualization is getting the sense that our Guru is inseparable from Aryatara, which means that our Guru has all the same qualities, all the same level of realization of Aryatara, and as well as the rest of the Buddhas. So one in essence means the omniscient mind is the same in qualities and realizations. But in aspect, since we don't have the karma to see our Guru in the form of Aryatara, then our Guru appears in the ordinary aspect as a human being that we can interact with, that we can receive teachings from. And therefore our Guru to appear in this form that we can interact with and receive direct benefit from is actually infinitely more kind than all the numberless Buddhas, because those Buddhas, as it were, are not seen by us. Now, remembering the qualities and kindness of our Guru, we make the request to please remain above my head until I receive enlightenment. Oops. Continuing with the refuge in bodhicitta, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha. In order to benefit all sentient beings, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and the other perfections, may I become a Buddha. In order to benefit all sentient beings, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha. In order to benefit all sentient beings. So continuing with the settlement prayer. With my body, speech, and mind, I devoutly prostrate. So now we will continue with the Tara praises. So I have to switch files. Oops. Can you see that? All right. So
Yes,
as I mentioned last week, the FUNT has revised the phonetics of the 21 Tara praises. So it's available for free download on the FUNT education site. So if you haven't already, please do so. Okay. Podalai ne cho ne tam ye jang gu le ju shin yu pa ne gi u na ge du sun sang ge chen le ma cho ma ko che shek su so La dan la men che bengi shagi pemo la te te pompa kun le josema joma yun la cha se lo. Onje tsuma pama joma la cha se lo. Chasa Joma Nyama Pamo Cheni Keche Lodan Drama Jiden Sungu Chuki Shelgi Kesa Jewa Leni Juma Chasa Tunge Dawa Kundu Kawa Gyani Sekpe Shelma Karma Tonda Tsopa Namgi Ratu Chewe Yura Barma Chasa Sengu Chune Kegi Peme chane nampa gyama, chenpa sundru kadu shiwa, sepa senten chuyo nima, chasa deshin shekpe suton, tae nampa gyawa chama, malu paru chenpa tobe, gerwe segi shindun tama, chasa antu, sorry. Chasa tu dara hun yiki, dedan choda namka kama, jiten dumbo shagi nente, lupa mepa gopa numa, chasa gache mela sampa, luna nanso wanche chema, chumbo rolan tisananda, nujen zege dune tuma, chasa cheche chadam beki, Paru tu kora tu choma, yegun yuken shagi nende, mepa tu pa shindu bama, chasa tu ri jipa champo, tugi pawo namba joma, chugi sheni trone denze, kao tamshe malu suma, chasa konsho susu chagi, soma tukana bagyama, rangi yugi sonam kiri. Oh, malu chogi kolo gembe, rangi yugi sonan truma, chaza ratu gawa jibi, yugi yugi trawa bama, sheba rashe tutarai, tudan jide wandu zama, chaza sashi kyonwe sokna, tanche gopanu manema, chone yoa yigi hungi, Pompa tamche namba joma, chasa dawe dumbuye, kempa tamche shindu bama, rebe tena weba mele, takpa shindu razema, chasa kebe tame meda, pawe teme yona mema, yeke yukon kone korge, trae pune namba joma, chasa sasi nela chage, Tirgi nungi shage doma, chone tsinze igi hongi, rimba doma nani gyama, chaze dama gyama shima, ngayin de chuyu nima, soa yanda dempe, dikpa chenpo joma nima, chaze kune kora gawe, trae lui namba gyama, igi chibe nga ikebe, Rikpa hune jomani ma chasa turi shani dabe hunge nabe sabe ni ma rida mandara dambiche jiten suya noa ni ma chasa lai soye nabe rida na chani tana nama tara ni jibe yeke dutna manu kani sama Chasa lai sok nam yelbo, lada mian chi tema, kone go cha gawa jike, suda mina nyemba sama, chasa nima dawa yebe, cheni pola urap sama, hara ni jutu tara Shindo Takpurine Sama Chasa Dini Sonam Kyupe Shive Tudayanda Dema Dela Rona Nuchin Sona Jomba Ture Rachonima Sawe Ngaki Tubadida Chasa Wani Nishu Sachi. Okay, now we have this abbreviated praise. Again, this has also been corrected in this book. So we'll do this 21 times. And we'll do a little bit increasing in the speed as we go along. Okay? Onje tsuma pama jamala cha salo cha cha jama dare pamo tu dara iji kunsama ture donanda jidema soa ige chararabdu. Onje tsuma pama jamala cha salo cha cha jama dare pamo tu dara iji kunsama ture donanda jidema soa ige chararabdu. Onje tsuma pama jamala cha salo Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara, Onje Tsuma, Pama Jamala Cha Salo, Chacha Joma Tare Bam, Tutara Jigusama, Tune Dananda Chidama, Soa Ige Charara. Okay. So back to the 7M prayer. So next of them of offering. So we'll offer this very fine agar wood incense. Om, 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 om. Oops. So we think that we're offering this. Then the water bowls here, all the other offerings at the other centers, at the other students' houses. Everything unowned and attractive in the universe, including all the stars in the whole universe. We offer these not just once, but many times to all the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, statues, teachings, and scriptures, all inseparable from our own root guru. So then we think, I offer all offerings, both real and imagined. Okay, next, all sins and offenses amassed from beginningless time, I confess. So thinking here especially the broken and degenerated vows in Samaya, as well as all the negative deeds that we've accumulated in relation to our parents and other strong, karmically powerful objects, like our parents, like our teachers, like our gurus, like our Vajra brothers and sisters. So all these negativities accumulated from beginningless time, we see that they are the cause of our future suffering. We see that they are obstacles for us to attain realizations of the path, and therefore seeing that they're also lacking in inherent existence, that means they can be purified. That means they can change. That means we can change. And so we don't have to act in this way in the future. And therefore we also commit that to the best of our ability, we will refrain from these negative, unskillful ways of behaving in the future. And even if we can't do that for forever, then at least, for a day, an hour, a few minutes, or even a few seconds, we will start to turn away from this kind of negative behavior. Okay, next, the limit of rejoicing. I rejoice in all virtuous actions of holy and ordinary beings. So here again, we pause to meditate. First, remembering that all success, all happiness is the ripening effect of previously accumulated karma, virtue. And so, since we ourselves want happiness and success, and since we want all others to experience happiness and success, then when we think about ourselves, having created virtue or creating virtue now, then that should make us very, very happy. And then when we think about others that are accumulating virtue, then that also makes us extremely happy. So we can just think that we rejoice in the virtues of ourselves and others, and then particularly when it says holy beings here, it means those Arya beings who have direct realization of emptiness. So all of these beings then have generated within their own mental continuum the direct antidote to samsaric suffering. So, wow, isn't that amazing? So think how wonderful it is that these beings who have attained this level of realization are, you know, no longer creating the cause for future samsara rebirth. Then, of course, we also rejoice in the merits of the bodhisattvas who are single-pointedly dedicated to become enlightened, fully enlightened, so they can be of utmost benefit for sentient beings. They've totally renounced the selfish thought of self-cherishing, thinking that they are more important than others, and instead cherish others even more than themselves. So how wonderful that is. And then, of course, the Buddhas who have totally traversed the path to enlightenment, totally purified their minds of all obscurations, even the subtle imprints. And just think how wonderful and amazing that is. And again, there's not just one Buddha, but countless Buddhas have appeared in the past, have gotten enlightened in the past. There's countless Buddhas or countless sentient beings who today became enlightened. Then, of course, if we extend into the future, all the sentient beings have Buddha nature, and eventually, after training in the path, all sentient beings will one day attain the state of enlightenment. So that also unbelievably wonderful. Okay, next the name of requesting our Buddhas remain. All Gurus and Buddhas, please remain until samsara ends. We offer a throne marked with a cross of Vajra. And turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. Offer a Dharma chakra to our Guru, not just one, but many. All my virtues and those of all others are dedicated to the great enlightenment. Okay. So mandala offering now. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, sun and moon. I imagine this is a Buddha field and offering. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of my attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, strangers, and my body, wealth, and enjoyments, without any sense of loss I have for this collection, please accept it with pleasure and bless me with freedom from the 3 poisons. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kam Niratayami. So now we have these purification, meditation, and visualization. So at each step, we request our Guru. So first, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my body, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So at each step, we visualize or think that the Guru has accepted our request, and then white light emanates from the Om at Arya Tara's brow and curves in an arc to enter my brow. My body is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. Please, next we request, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my speech, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. Guru accepts our request. Then we visualize that red light emanates from the Ah at Arya Tara's throat and curves in an arc to enter my throat. My speech is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy virtuous speech. Next, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my mind, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. Guru accepts our request, and then blue light emanates from the home at Arya Tara's heart and curves in an arc to enter my heart. My mind is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. Please bless me to purify all delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience, so that my body, speech, and mind will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. Guru accepts our request. Now, the three colored beams emanate simultaneously from the Om An Hung syllables, curving in an arc and entering my three places, completely purifying all my delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience. My body, speech, and mind become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. My root Guru dissolves into Aryatara, who melts into green light, which flows into me. Instantly, my wrong conception that I and other phenomena are self-existent, together with my dualistic mind and its views, disappear, becoming completely empty. Not even a trace of them remains. So we concentrate one pointedly on this empty state with a wisdom that is indistinguishably one with Guru Tara's blissful omniscient mind. All right, so we pause here and we try to meditate on the meaning of emptiness as best we can. So again, thinking that emptiness does not just mean, total nothingness or total non-existence, but rather emptiness means that phenomena lack inherent existence, lack true existence, lack existence from the side of the object's own side. So all those ways or modes of existence are completely impossible. So the fact that ourselves and other phenomena do not exist in that impossible, fantasized, completely projected way of existing is what it means for an object to be empty. But just because the objects do not exist in that impossible, fantasized way of existing, that doesn't mean they don't exist whatsoever. They do exist, not independently, but dependently. They exist as dependent arisings. They exist being merely labeled by the mind. Yet, for us, ignorant sentient beings, all phenomena do not appear in the way that they exist in actuality, but rather they appear to us in this false, mistaken mode of appearing. They appear to be truly existent. They appear to be inherently existent. So now here, we think that all of those appearances are false, and those things that are appearing to us in this true, inherent, independent way, those appearances of true existence, since they're completely false, the way they appear, then those ones totally don't exist. So here you can concentrate on that. You know, the way that things appear is totally false. So now your mind realizes this is one in essence with Guru Tara's enlightened mind, and therefore experiences a great bliss, the great bliss of the Dhammakaya. Now, if you received the appropriate initiation in the past, then you can now think that this very mind, inseparable from Aryatara's enlightened mind, manifests in the form of Aryatara. Otherwise, you can think that Aryatara manifests from this enlightened sphere of the Dhammakaya in the space in front of you. And then at my heart, or the Tara in the space in front, is another lotus and moon, upon which in the center stands the syllable Tam, surrounded in a clockwise direction by the syllables of the mantra Om Tari Tutari Turi Soa. The Tam and the mantra are manifestations of Guru Tara's holy mind, with which my mind is totally united. Green light radiates from all the layers, spreading in every direction. It purifies the negative karma, gross delusions, and subtle obscurations to omniscience of all sinning beings who become Tara. Okay, so we will do the mantra recitation. So here, these 3 paragraphs are 3 visualizations that we cycle through, if you wish. So we'll start off with the first one, and then, I will, recite the mantra for about 7 more minutes, 6, 7 more minutes. So after about 2 minutes, then you can cycle through these visualizations at your own pace, okay? Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. 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 So just rest for a moment in that feeling, that awareness that all those visualizations have come to fruition. All sentient beings are now purified and have attained enlightenment in the aspect of Aryatara. And then from the showering of the qualities of the Buddha, then you receive all the blessings of the omniscient mind, including the wisdom, power, and compassion of all the Buddhas. Okay, so a brief dedication here. First, may I quickly become Guru Aryatara and lead each and every sentient being into our enlightened state because of these merits. May the Supreme Jewel Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. Okay. So let's continue with the King of Prayers. Okay, do you all have that? Yes? All right. So I'm not going to do a screen share. You should all have. This is one that is also available as a free download from the good folks at FPMT. So I think those of you who have been following for a while, then you know we have been dedicating for Simmer, who lives in Delhi. So his mother had COVID, and actually she just passed away last night at 1:20 a.m. So the King of Prayers is very good to do for people or sentient beings who recently passed away. So in particular for Inderjeet Kaur, Kaur, and then all the other sentient beings who have recently died, so they can get rebirth in the Bardo, in the Pure Land of the Buddha. Then we recite this for them. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, who lands among humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future. In the worlds of 10 directions, all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every atom are Buddhas, numberless as atoms. Each is a host of Bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way, with infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice. I sing the breathtaking excellence of the Buddhas, and celebrate all you gone to bliss. Beautiful flowers with garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense I offer to you victorious ones, fine dress and fragrant perfume, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array I offer to you victorious ones, with transcendent offerings, spirits and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strengthening conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and confusion, all these I will lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all positive potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions, of solitary realizers, here still training in those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds of 10 directions, who have attained a Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the spring wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize Parinirvana, please stay with us for eons and atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering, acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for full awakening. May Buddhas now living in the worlds of 10 directions, and those, all you gone to freedom in the past, accept my offerings. May those not yet arisen quickly perfect their minds, awakening as fully enlightened ones. May all worlds in 10 directions be entirely pure and vast. May they be filled with bodhisattvas surrounding Buddhas, gathered beneath the Bodhi tree. May as many beings that exist in all 10 directions be always well and happy. May all samsaric beings live in accord with the Dharma, and may their every Dharma wish be fulfilled. Remember my past lives and all varieties of existence, my practice of Bodhisattva way, and thus, in each cycle of death, migration, and birth, may I always abandon the householder's life. Then, following in the footsteps of all the Buddhas, and perfecting the practice of Bodhisattva, may I always act without error or compromise, with ethical discipline, faultless and pure. May I teach the Dharma in the language of the gods, in every language of spirits and nagas, of humans and of demons, and in the voice of every form of being. May I be gentle-minded, cultivating the 6 paramitas, and never forget bodhicitta. May I completely cleanse without omission every negativity and all that obscures this awakening mind. May I traverse all my lives in this world, free of karma, afflictions, and interfering forces, just as the lotus blossom is undisturbed by the water's wave, just as the sun and moon move unhindered through the sky. May ease the suffering in lower realms and in the many directions and dimensions of the universe. May I guide all wanderers in samsara to the pure bliss of awakening and be of worthy benefit to them as well. May I practice constantly for eons to come, perfecting the activities of awakening, acting in harmony with the very dispositions of beings, showing the ways of Bodhisattva. May I always have the friendship of those whose path is like mine, and with bodies, words, and also mine, may we practice together the same aspirations and activities. May I always meet a spiritual mentor, and never displease that excellent friend who deeply wishes to help me and expertly teaches the Bodhisattva way. May I always directly see the Buddhas, masters encircled by Bodhisattvas, and without pause or discouragement for eons to come, may I make extensive offerings to them. My whole being may the Buddha's genuine Dharma illuminate everywhere the teachings that awaken, and embody the realizations of Bodhisattva, and practice ardently in all future eons. While circling through all states of existence, may I become an endless treasure of good qualities, skillful means, wisdom, samadhi, and liberating stabilizations, gathering limits, pristine wisdom, and positive potential. On one atom I shall see Buddha feels numberless atoms, inconceivable Buddhas among Bodhisattvas in every field, practicing activities of awakening. Perceiving this in all directions, I dive into an ocean of the Buddha fields, each an ocean of 3 times Buddhas in the space of a whisper of a hair, so I too will practice for an ocean of eons. Thus, I am continually immersed in the speech of the Buddhas, expression that reveals an ocean of qualities in one word, the completely pure eloquence of all the Buddhas, communication suited to the very tendencies of beings, with strength of understanding I plunge into the infinite mind speech of the Dharma of all Buddhas and 3 times gone to freedom, who continually turn the wheel of Dharma methods. I shall experience in one moment such vast activity of all future eons, and I'll enter into all eons of 3 times in but a fraction of a second. In one instant I shall see all those awakened beings, past, present, and future lines among humans, and with the pure power of illusional stabilization, I will constantly engage in their inconceivable activity. I shall manifest upon one single atom the array of pure lines, present, past, and future. Likewise, I shall enter the array of pure Buddha fields in every direction without exception. I shall enter the very presence of all my guides, those lights of this world who are yet to appear, those sequentially turning the wheels of complete awakening, those who reveal nirvana, final perfect peace. May I achieve the power, swift magical emanation, the power to lead to the great vehicle through every approach, the power of always beneficial activity, the power of love pervading all realms, the power of all surpassing positive potential, the power of supreme knowledge unobstructed by discrimination, and through the powers of wisdom, skillful means, and samadhi, may I achieve the perfect power of awakening, purifying the power of all contaminated actions, crushing the power of disturbing emotions at the root, diffusing the power of interfering forces. I shall perfect the power of the Bodhisattva practice. May I purify an ocean of worlds. May I free an ocean of beings. May I clearly see an ocean of Dharma. May I realize an ocean of pristine wisdom. May I purify an ocean of activities. May I fulfill an ocean of aspirations. May I make offerings to an ocean of Buddhas. May I practice without discouragement for an ocean of eons. So we can fully through this Bodhisattva way, I shall fulfill without exception all the various aspirations of the awakening practice of all Buddhas gone to freedom in 3 times everywhere. In order to practice exactly as the wise one calls Samadhi all embracing good, the other brother of the sons and daughters of the Buddhas, I completely dedicate all this goodness. Likewise, may I dedicate, just as skillful Samadhi with pure body, speech, and mind, pure actions, and pure Buddha fields. I shall give rise to these aspirations of Manjushri for this Bodhisattva practice of all embracing good, to perfect these practices without discouragement or pause in all future eons. May my pure activities be endless, my good qualities boundless, and through abiding in immeasurable activity, may I actualize infinite emanations. Limitless is the end of space. Likewise, limitless are living beings. Thus, limitless are karma and afflictions. May my aspirations reach be limitless as well. One may offer to the Buddhas all wealth and adornments of infinite worlds in 10 directions, and one may offer during eons endless atoms of the world, even the greatest happiness of gods and humans. But whoever hears this extraordinary aspiration and long for highest awakening gives rise to faith just once, creates far more precious positive potential. Those who make this heartfelt aspiration for the Bodhisattva way will be free of all low rebirths, free of harmful companions, and will quickly see Amitabha, infinite light. And even in this very human life, they'll be nourished by happiness and have all conducive circumstances. Without waiting long, they'll become like Samadhi himself. Those who give voice to this extraordinary aspiration will quickly and completely purify the 5 balanced harmful actions created under the power of ignorance. Blessed with supreme knowledge, excellent body, family, attributes, and appearance, they will be invincible to vast interfering forces and misleading teachers, and all the 3 worlds will make offerings. Going quickly as a noble Bodhi tree and sitting there to benefit sending beings, subduing all interfering forces, they will fully awaken and turn the great wheel of Dharma. Have no doubt that complete awakening is a fully ripened result, comprehended only by a Buddha, of holding in mind by teaching, reading, or reciting this aspiration of the Bodhisattva practice. In order to train just like the hero Manjushri, who knows reality as it is, and just like Samadhi as well, I completely dedicate all this goodness just as they did. With that dedication, which is praised as the greatest, but all the Buddhas gone to freedom in 3 times, I too dedicate all my roots of goodness for the attainments of the Bodhisattva practice. When the moment of my death arrives, by limiting all obscurations and directly perceiving Amitabha, may I go immediately to Sukhavati, pure land of great joy. Having gone to Sukhabati, may I actualize the meaning of these aspirations, fulfilling them all without exception, for the benefit of beings for as long as this world endures. Born from an extremely beautiful spirit of lotus in this joyful land, the Buddha's magnificent mandala, may I receive a prediction of my awakening directly from Buddha Amitabha. Having received a prediction there, may I create fast benefit for beings throughout the 10 directions, with a billion emanations by the power of wisdom. Through even the small virtue I have accumulated by offering this prayers, Bodhisattva practice, and all the positive aspirations of being be fulfilled in an instant, through creating limitless positive potential by dedicating this prayer to Madhavajra deeds, and all beings drown in torrent of suffering enter the presence of Amitabha. To this king of the aspirations, which is the greatest of the sublime, helping infinite wanderers in samsara, through the accomplishment of the scripture dazzling with Samantabhadra's practice, may suffering realms be utterly emptied of all beings. Okay. And now we have a particular dedication. So we also dedicate all the 3-time merit accumulated by ourselves, as well as the numberless merits accumulated by the numberless sentient beings and numberless Buddhas, for the long life, good health, and fulfillment of the holy wishes of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Ganen Tree Rinpoche, Sokong Sensor Rinpoche, Ken Rinpoche, Geshe Chuni, and Constant Rinpoche, as well as for the long and healthy lives of all the Dharma teachers, in particular Geshe Trinle, Geshe Sherab, Geshe Tenzin Dorje, Geshe Dorje Damdu, Geshe Tenzin Zoba, Venerable Sangha Khandro, Venerable Olivier Rossi, Venerable Tenzin Namjo, Venerable Rowena Curtin, Venerable Tenzin Lexok, Venerable Tenzin Gache, and Venerable Tugden Khandro. We also dedicate for the quick enlightenment and the fulfillment of all the holy wishes of all the kind benefactors of Root Institute. So I also dedicate for all those who are sick or with other health issues, including Manohar Gill, and then as Shantideva, Shantideva prayer. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their illnesses, and whatever illnesses they exist in the world, may these never occur again. Then we also dedicate for those who recently died, in particular Inderjit Kaur, and all those who recently died, may they be reborn in the Pure Land where they can achieve enlightenment, or at the very least achieve a perfect human rebirth, meet with the Mahayana Guru and Mahayana teachings, and achieve enlightenment in their very next lifetime. Then we also dedicate for all the Dharma centers and Dharma projects, in particular all the FPMT projects in India, especially Root Institute. May they be successful in their activities to benefit sentient beings and the teachings of Buddha. Okay, so thank you very much. And take care. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Venerable Shantila.
Thank you, Venerable. Thank you, Venerable.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venerable. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shanti ji. Thank you, Shanti.
Thank you, Shanti.